Start with one more round of applause, because that is the toughest act to follow every year. One more round of applause for the Taiko drum. They really get the crowd riled up every time. My name is Jason, and I represent Greenville Kendo Club, but we are a mixture of Kenshi on the stage here. And today I will be performing for you the traditional martial art of Kendo. Kendo is a traditional martial art based in swordsmanship. So what you're learning how to be is you're learning how to be a fighter in some ways, but you're also learning how to control yourself. Each and every class we start with a rigorous development of what we call Reiki, which is manners. So you'll see that each person pays particular attention to how they carry themselves, how they walk in, how they do everything in Kendo. Now I'll tell you more about class times, and we'll show you some traditional, what we would do during a normal practice. But right now, really, Kendo cultivates the mind, cultivates the body and the spirit. And what they're doing right now is called Mokso. Mokso is when you come in and you have to push everything out. Your drive, your wonderful stuck drive in traffic, your terrible day at work, your stressful load that you have family-wise, and you push it all out and you get ready for your Kendo class. So what these Kenshi are doing right now is they're clearing their mind so that whenever they start their practice, they are mentally ready to succeed. And as I stated before, you're going to notice a lot of traditional manners that you're going to follow along with. And that starts with Ore, showing respect to both the audience and also to each member. We have two main portions that we're going to show you today, all right? Most classes, when you Google search Kendo, first thing that's going to pop up is a fabulous video of just high-ranking senseis going at it, fighting each other. And everyone kind of understands that, oh, if I go to class, that's exactly what I'm going to be the first day of class. But what we really start with is we start with the basics. And the basics start with waza, particular techniques. So before you even wear your armor, before you wear your hakama and your kekogi and your bogu, you're practicing this particular style of waza. So what these nice Kenshi are going to do for you is they're going to take you through 1 through 9. There are 9 types of waza techniques that they're going to practice while they're doing Kendo. Now, while they go through these, I'll be explaining, but I'd ask you to keep your attention on them because they're definitely showing you the best Kendo they have. You're going to hear them call out what they hear, and later on I'm going to teach you what that is. And this is the technique that they're going to use later on in practice, and of course today during their demonstration, when they put on their armor fully and they fight. But these were the techniques that were developed. I teach middle school during the day, I guess I should say, Superman at night, but teach middle school during the day. And when I tell my students about Kendo, they're always like, isn't that, hitting with sticks? No, it's not. It's really kind of showing control, showing that you have control over what you're doing. It's hitting what you want to hit. It's cultivating that mind, body, and spirit. There are different levels in Kendo. So you really don't need to focus on the levels, but yeah, as you progress, you start to level up. And no matter what age you are, no matter what rank you are, everyone starts the class practicing these basic skills. And every 3 or 4 months or so, we'll all get together in a Taikai, a tournament, and we'll also get together in a promotion ceremony where we can show our skills and promote and rank up. Kendo is definitely for all ages, all right? Now, of course, there is a minimum age requirement. We usually start, depending on the dojo, 6, 7, and 8, but it can go all the way. It is truly a lifelong martial art. that concludes their basic technique practice. And while they are going to go and put their armor on, I'm going to have a helper come up, and I'm going to demonstrate to you like what actually is a point. Like, why are we cutting? What are they cutting to get to? So a lot of people are very weary of Kendo, and they think that we're going to be cutting with real swords. And usually what you notice is that they had wooden swords, and then they also have a bamboo shinai. All right, now this is 4 pieces of bamboo put together. I would like to tell you that it doesn't hurt. It does. Only when you use it incorrectly. But let me show you the 4 basic points that we're going for in Kendo. And it all is very simple. That's what I always appreciate about it. What you hit is essentially the same name of the body part. So our first strike is going to be against men. That's the most traditional strike. And men in Japanese is going to mean, does anybody know what men means? Men! Anybody? All of these folks, nobody knows? Can you guess?
Head.
Huh? Head, yes. Head and face area. So I'm going to try and strike John in between this scoring area, these 2 pieces of leather, and you can probably get a nice little hear to it. It's a pop. And those are just the 4 pieces of shinai coming together. And of course, you do feel it on top of the head a little bit, but you are protected with armor. The second one that most folks go to is called anybody know the Japanese word for wrist area? I heard somebody say it. Kote, correct, very good. So again, very simple at first for the vocabulary. You're gonna hit men, and then our second most popular strike is kote, and I'll give you a little idea of what it sounds like when we pop that one. Third one is the do. Now you notice that we have this is also made of several different materials. It can be of bamboo, sometimes they're of shark skin. They get quite extravagant depending on your level. But what we traditionally want to do is we'll come over here and try and hit their do, and this one's the loudest of the 3, I would say, excuse me, of the 4. So you can hear that one, and that one's a do strike. And the last one is the most dangerous. This is where we start to exercise our control the most. It is ski. Ski is the throat area here. All right. Now we don't normally encourage the use of this, but as you start to develop your skill, you do start to use it because it is a point. And I'm going to ask John here to turn just a little bit so we can actually see on his men. He has a little piece of leather right here that is protecting his throat area. So when you start to go up against someone really advanced, they will actually want to jab at that. Now this is where the control part comes in. When we fight together, we're not jabbing. No, we show a little control, we hit it, and we come back. Okay? So those are the 4 things you need to hit, the 4 body parts you need to hit to score what we call an ippon, a cut, a point. So I already said I was a teacher, so now I have to come back and assess you quickly on what those 4 things were. You can call them out if you remember them. First one is man. Oh man, you guys are smart. Second one is you got it. Third one is do. I heard that. Do is the third one, and the last one is ski. Yes, it has a very particular pronunciation, but sometimes we kind of think of skiing like that, but we'll ski. So those are the 4 parts. And what you're going to see now is an actual practical demonstration called jikeko, where the 2 kenshi will come together and they're going to fight essentially for their life. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to score one of those 4 points. Now I'm not going to say what they score, but I want you to notice and kind of see what they're going for, what they're hitting, and they're listening to their sensei. as always in Kendo, regardless of whether or not we lose, regardless of whether or not we win, regardless of whether or not we had a bad match or we had a bad strike, or we even think that maybe what they scored wasn't what we thought it was, we still show manners. So what we usually try to tell people is that Kendo goes into the outside world and the outside world comes into Kendo. So you take the level of respect that you learn through Kendo and you can take it out into your job, into your family, into your work, your friends' life, your social life. Again, they begin and start with manners. You leave it all on the court. You may notice some different things that they're doing. First, you may notice that they're screaming at each other. That's called ki. So the idea of when you fight someone, and this I guess would be applicable to many situations, is that you've already won before you enter the battle. So it's a mental game. When you scream, you are trying to get into the head of your opponent. You're trying to tell them that you have no fear whatsoever and that you should fear me. As well as showing a strong spirit through ki and a scream, essentially, you'll also notice that there's quite a lot of foot stomping going on. That's called fumakomi, and really to create a solid cut, they're stomping their feet at the same time. So as I mentioned previously, they do rank up. And rank is important in some aspects, but really no. Even from the lowest rank to the highest rank, everybody fights each other in a traditional practice. But generally speaking, you do, of course, honor your highest rank the most, which is why you'll notice all of our Kenshi are sitting in what we call Seiza to show respect to our highest ranking members today. So as I mentioned, manners and respect and control play a lot into what Kendo is. We don't really sell ourselves as sword fighters. We sell ourselves as warriors, but peaceful, mindful warriors. As you'll notice, these two sensei are showing each other the most respect by thanking each other. And that's really what we end our practice with, is thanking each other for a great practice. Thank you for teaching me what I need to teach. If somebody hits you, you don't turn around and say, oh, jeez, you hit me. I can't stand that. No, you say, thank you. I just learned what I need to improve on. And that's really the best we can offer as Kendo practitioners. As they prepare to close up and show you one final bow, again, I do represent Greenville Kendo Club, and they do practice at Kane Halter Family YMCA, and that's every Saturday from 4 until 6, and everybody is welcome to come and watch a practice if you're interested in it. We also have members today from Columbia and Athens, Georgia, so if you're from those areas and you'd like to practice the same thing, you're more than welcome to come down and contact us. And the easiest way is you can stop at our table all the way over next to the archery and the arts and crafts section, and also you can Google search Kendo and then the city name, and you'll find yourself upon someone's website. But again, one last time, my name is Jason, and this was Greenville Kendo Club demonstrating the Japanese martial art of Kendo. And we thank you very much.